Welcome to the CEB show. I decided. So when I decide what to listen to the radio, I choose randomly. It could be AM, FM, CD, something from the phone, silent. So I've added an option, and I choose that randomly, like ram.org. I see what the mileage is on the car and, base it off of that. Like, not to get into details on that stuff. And so I've added, instead of listening to music, do one of these shows. By the way, this is kind of jerry-rigged with my wallet, an ashtray, clippers, like garden clippers, like little hand ones, and a Coke bottle. So if the camera falls, my apology. I need to get a good phone holder, one that can see the way this car is built. It's going to be hard. Yeah. Just because around the vents, because that's where those usually attach to, it comes out a lot. So yeah, I don't know. I have to look. So anyway, that's the update on the show. But just thinking about what I want to talk about, and I want to talk about this possible central bank digital currency, CBDC, central bank digital currency. Yeah. So for those who don't know, there's a theory, and it's already started in other countries, that the U.S. will go to a central bank digital currency. The super layman terms explain what that is. It's like government-enforced crypto currency. So what they would do is buy back any cash you have. There's a lot of theories that says it'll buy back the cash for less than what the cash is worth. Which is issue number one. Of course, that's a theory. And I don't know if that applies to what you have in the bank. Because I assume what they're going to do is oh yeah, that's already transferred over. And it's, then... So the big issue a lot of people have with this, and I agree, is if it's a central bank digital currency and the government controls it, there's a lot of theory and rumor that you go against the government, you say something, you even say stuff, and there's signs that this administration, and probably previous administrations, you say something against them, stuff happens to some people, and it's usually bigger. I mean, there's already a lot of censorship going on. So, and it's been proven that the government slide into social media DMs, be like, hey, I need you to act like this isn't real, even though it is. So there's a question on, can you trust this? And, with the government being able to get their hands on, which I believe they already can get on their hands on your money somewhat anyway. Pretty sure they can get your accounts locked up. There's a lot of intricacies in this. So, yeah, the big thing is, will the government use their power over the central bank digital currency to mess with people they disagree with. And I know there's people on, the current administration is on the left, and there's people on the left who are cool with it. And some of them are cool with it because the left is in charge. Democrats are in charge. At least the president. Now the Congress is split. But one thing I don't think they realize is that can flip. Like, so you might be a Democrat and trust the Democrats not to do that, which is kind of odd because both parties really scream a lot about you can't trust the government. Sometimes that's an aim when the other side's in charge. But, there's a lot, just in general, you can't trust the government. But then, especially on the left, because the left is a lot about, single pay healthcare, where the government be in charge of that, and financial aid, and all that other stuff. So, but I mean, the right Republicans do too in other ways, but I don't believe as much. I could be wrong, and hey, if I say anything you disagree with, respectfully tell me why I'm wrong, and if needed, use a point of reference, and we'll come back to it. I'd like to do a show where we just talk about issues. Like, I want to do a live show, talk about issues, and people can, comment, give their 2 cents in the comments and tell me why I'm wrong. But sometimes you need a point of reference, like an article, a study, etc., that shows why I'm wrong. If you don't have that, I'll be like, all right, send me that in the comments, or I'll give you an email, or we'll do it in Discord or whatever. And then a later show, like, hey, welcome back. It's Tuesday. Yesterday, we were talking about the central bank digital currency. And I said one thing, and at whatever said another thing, but they didn't have a point of reference to give me, to show me. But last night they sent me it, and so we're going to pick up that discussion there, and then, that'll give me a time to look at what they're pointing out, and then I can counter or change my viewpoint, because, none of us know everything. So anyway, back to central bank digital currency, and I lost my thought on what I was saying before. I was talking about what I want to do with a show. So, and we got about 2 minutes left. So, I don't understand how anyone can be good with this. Like, you'd have to trust the government completely not to mess you over, unless there's something I don't know about the central bank digital currency idea that would prevent the government from possibly screwing people over who disagree with them. Maybe you start, and I'm sure they won't, hit up, the random, like me, YouTuber, unless maybe, I get more than, 10 views an episode when I start getting, if we get Back to Brag up and running and I say something against them, we have 1,000, it's not I, because the team, Back to Brag's a team. But yeah, maybe one of my shows I say something that the government doesn't like, and then all of a sudden I go to buy some bread and I can't. And then someone comes up, it's like, hey, maybe you should take down that video and maybe say why you're wrong on your next video. Maybe that'll get your money back. But it's not from the government, just some random guy trying to be helpful. So it's probably not, even if they do that, it's probably not going to affect the little guy. But still, you don't want central and opposite view media being censored via their money being kept from them. But like I was saying, we almost all have digital currency right now anyway, unless you withdraw money from the bank, cash, and use that, which some places you still have to. So I'm curious, this is my second thing, we're past 10 minutes. I'm curious, what are these people going to do? You ever watch these shows of people in Alaska? Well, maybe they have a bank account and they don't just store their money. I don't know. But I feel like there's a lot of cash, and there's a lot of small towns where it's a lot of cash being used. Going to these, what do you call them, like flea markets and festivals where people don't take cards. They take cash. That's all they take. Shoot, there's a hot dog stand near where I live, and they only take cash. Like, are they gonna? I don't doubt the government would be like, yeah, well, you're gonna have to fork over the money to be able to accept CBDC, payments. But I'm curious to see what you all think. You guys any counters, especially since I am over the time limit, and if you give me something to continue talking about the subject, or if there's anything else you want me to talk about, or I'll just come on here and talk about whatever pops in my head. Alright, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, turn notifications, follow, anything else you can think of. I need to get that Patreon up, or whatever. Alright, see you next time. Peace.